Welcome again, everybody. We are HeatSmart Tompkins. We are a community nonprofit dedicated to outreach and education. We do not make any money off any sales of heat pumps or home energy improvements. Our goal is just to reduce energy use and make people more comfortable and happy in their homes, and also oftentimes to save you money on your energy bills when that's possible, which it often is. So we believe that the recommendations of the HeatSmart program will save money, lead to comfortable, healthy homes, and climate solutions that help everybody. HeatSmart is an idea that started in Tompkins County. My co-director, Jonathan Comstock, started HeatSmart a few years back after starting something called Solar Tompkins, which was a big solarized program that was so successful they decided they didn't need to promote solar energy in Tompkins County that much anymore, and they started the HeatSmart program. The idea was so great that it caught on and is now funded by NYSERDA, state agency, and there are 15 HeatSmart or clean heating and cooling programs across New York State. And some of you I know are not from the Tompkins County, or we now cover Chemung County as well, but are from some of the surrounding areas and are served by other HeatSmart programs. So welcome to all of you as well. Okay, so we remove barriers to taking action because these are difficult decisions, and sometimes people need a little help to take action in their homes. So what we do is we provide transparency for costs and quality issues. We provide accessible information about the different options. This webinar series is part of that. And hopefully that generates confidence in folks to be able to move forward with their own decision making. So in this time of COVID-19, we're changing our practices. We like to have community meetings in churches and town halls and libraries all across the region and meet people face to face. But we can't do that right now. So we are holding these webinars. We encourage people to use our website as much as possible, and we're putting up new information there every day, so keep checking back for more. And if there's not something there that you want, get in touch with us, and we can also talk to you, are very happy to talk to you on the phone. We are trying to get some virtual home tours up because part of our program has been asking people to open their homes so that people can see energy systems installed in place and how they work. And that's a really fun part of what we do, and we can't do that right now. So we're trying to do those virtually. And our installer partners are doing remote assessments. Normally, you would sign up for HeatSmart and ask which installers you wanted to come and visit you and take a look at your home and talk to you about your home energy. And so our installers are all doing that, but they're doing it through phone calls, photographs, looking at energy bills and other remote methods to meet the standards that are required during the pause. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm now going to turn this meeting over to our main event, which is Matt Dennis from Halco Energy. So Matt, take it away.
Okay, hi everybody. Thanks for being here. Let's make sure we tested this yesterday. Let's make sure it's going to work. Okay, hi everybody. My name is Matt Dennis. I'm an energy advisor with Halco Energy, and I'm here to present our case study here. I'm going to start out telling you a little bit about Halco and what we do. We've been in business since 1984. We're a full service home energy contractor. We serve 23 counties throughout central New York, upstate, and the Finger Lakes. We offer everything from HVAC, plumbing, electric, waterproofing, basement waterproofing, water conditioning, insulation, spray foam insulation, cellulose, indoor air quality, healthy home solutions, air source, ground source heat pumps, solar, and then a lot more from there. We truly are a one-stop shop. Our motto is, yes, we do that. And you know, it's a pretty blanket statement because if you look at all of our services that we offer, we can pretty much cover you 100%, no matter what. We've been with the HeatSmart Tompkins program from the beginning. We're part of 2 other HeatSmart programs throughout our service area. And the reason for that is because what Halco offers, and that picture I showed you, is a comprehensive solution to make your home as energy efficient as possible, as comfortable as possible, and reduce your carbon consumptions, which is really what HeatSmart is all about. So it just kind of made sense that we kind of go hand in hand, through the HeatSmart Tompkins program over the years, we've been able to make a lot of positive changes for folks in their homes, and really take care of the issues that they may have. We're very proud of our customer service that we offer. So Halco is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And it's not just a boast, that's legitimate. If you were to call us at 2 a.m. on Sunday morning, a real life person at our office will answer the phone. So we're always going to be available to you no matter what. Our service department is staffed 7 days a week from 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. Those are our regular hours. So if you do need service on something, you can give us a call, and we can come out and see you on a Saturday or a Sunday or after hours, because not everybody is conveniently available 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. We're fully insured with liability, workers' comp, pollution insurance, and an umbrella policy that covers everything in between. And we're very proud of what our customers have to say about us. If you go to our website, you'll find right now about 600 positive Google reviews. We maintain a near 5-star rating with Google. And if you go on our own website, where we've been collecting reviews for many, many, many years, you'll find over 8,000 of them from folks that have used our services and are very happy with us. About 1,500 of them are strictly from Tompkins County, so you can actually go in and type in your zip code and see where your neighbors have worked with Halco. In addition, we do deal with all the NYSERDA rebate programs, all the grant programs, and then we have a variety of different financing options as well. And depending on your qualifications as far as income levels and such, we can help you navigate the waters of the paperwork with all those grants that are available. So this is our case study. This is the home of Frank and Kathy Darrow out in Spencer. Technically it's Danby, but it's a Spencer address. It's a 2,500 foot 1880s farmhouse, and a lot of original character to this house. And they didn't build them very efficient back then, so we had to make some modifications to make them work. Frank and Kathy were hoping to initially reduce their reliance on oil. We were eventually able to eliminate it entirely, and make the home more comfortable in the summer and the winter months. Some of the issues that we ran into when I got to the house is, got down to the basement, and there was a little stream that ran right down the middle of the basement. The basement had water issues for many, many years. And for a long time, it just kind of, they dealt with it for many years, because it's just kind of the way it was. But instead of just dealing with it, we offered up a solution. They originally contacted us to look at heat pump options, but when we got there, there's this, a wet basement is not just a comfort issue, it's a health and safety issue, because wet basements breed molds and mildews and lead to poor indoor air quality. So we had to put in a full basement waterproofing system, which meant perimeter drain system in the basement, a sump pump with a battery backup, and what the fun story about the battery backup, when our electrician was there working, he had to kill the power to the house, and the battery backup was working fantastic the entire time, so much so that the alarm was driving him crazy because he had to listen to it all. But it worked great. We installed the SaniDry basement air filtration system. which not only keeps the basement dry, it treats the air quality of the house. And we insulated the basement walls because we've got a huge thermal mass in the basement that led to air leakage as well as cold basement. So some before and after pictures here. We have this on the left side here is the before picture that we took. This is water. This is the trench in the basement here. This is where the water collected and went to a sump pump to just deal with it. This is all wet, just spilt over. The walls are leaking. Water is a constant problem in this house. And this is the after. Now the oil tank does go away. It just hadn't been taken out by the time this picture was taken. But you can see insulated the walls, the rim joists, that this is now gone because there's a perimeter drain underneath the concrete. So it's all nice, neat, and dry. Before, this was the sump pump, which everything just kind of made its way into the corner and kind of went away. And this is the new properly sealed sump pump, battery backup, and then the air filtration system. Some pictures of we replaced, this is the Bilco door. That had to be replaced because, as you can see, that's not doing anybody any favors from a air sealing and insulation perspective. And it's another shot of the behind the oil tank there. Now, we're all about giving credit where credit is due. Snug Planet was in this house a few years prior to us coming in to look at the heat pumps. The Snug had come in 2017 and put in some crawl space insulation, sealed up the crawl space, and then sealed up the attic. At the time, they weren't offering solutions for basement waterproofing, so they took care of the attic and the crawl space. The results of the basement project is we reduced the air leakage by nearly 40%, and that's something that kind of gets overlooked when you're trying to tidying up a home to make it as efficient as possible. You need to look at the basement because they are major sources of air leakage coming through a basement, especially an old stone foundation. A lot of these old homes that have stone foundations, that the air just blasts in and then comes back out, thus making the house drafty and the floor is cold. So we had to take care of all that. So the house is much more comfortable. The basement is dry and a lot safer, and it's just a major reason why it doesn't make sense to put a high quality, high efficient heating system in a house that's just drafty and leaky or wet. So you got to look at the whole house approach. Switching to the heat pump system. So the conversation we originally had was to just get away from the oil, and we looked at a dual fuel system, we looked at an air source system, and at the end we settled on a high efficient ground source heat pump. Some of the challenges we ran into, it's an oil furnace, an electric water heater was the existing equipment, low ceilings, so there were some challenges getting, working in the area. I'm 6'1", I couldn't stand up straight in the basement very well. So we had some challenges there. And then also a lot of the ductwork was undersized, and the electrical service in the home was also not properly sized. So we had to address that. So problems and solutions. Put in a Geostar Sycamore variable speed, high efficient ground source heat pump system. We corrected the ductwork and duct connections. The heat pump water heater took care, and that was a Snug project. They took care of that with the insulation, so that was already there. And we installed a 200 amp electrical service upgrade. So because we are licensed electricians, we can take care of all the solutions, all the problems in the house, taken care of under one roof. Some picture of the heat pump, and it was a 5-ton unit. We had to mount it horizontally, which is not a standard application, but in situations where basements are short, we have to. They make the unit like this so it can be laid on its side, not having to stand upright. The oil furnace, new equipment. all this shiny ductwork, this is all new. So that's another thing to keep in mind when you're putting in a heat pump. You're moving a lot more air. So when you're taking out a conventional fossil fuel furnace, you tend to have to make some duct modifications to move that that higher rate of airflow. Otherwise, you're going to have a massive challenge. So it was literally about 3 times the amount of airflow, which means we needed to basically upsize this ductwork quite a bit. I don't have a before picture, unfortunately, but this is the after picture of the loop field installation. They have the Daros have a meadow in the back here that just kind of hangs out and does its thing. So that's where we put it. Loop field's back there. We were able to trench back into the house and turn and then come in through the basement foundation over here. This was about almost a year ago, and now it's should be covered in grass by now. And again, credit where credit is due. Snug put in a heat pump water heater, which would be a solution that I also would have recommended, removing and replacing the existing electric water heater here. The electrical service, as I mentioned, this was what we came across, and it was about 100 amp service, and it was strong, very inadequate for what it needed. It was actually overloaded and out of code, so we had to take care of all that. So that was all torn out. We put in a proper 200 amp service and got everything to code for them. Results, again, happy homeowners. No more oil. We got rid of the oil entirely. Comfortable, even heat. Now have air conditioning for the first time ever. Clean heating and cooling, and massive carbon reductions. And I'll be able to show you that in a second here. Some costs. Now, to keep in mind, this was sort of an atypical solution, so I kind of tried to break it down to give you an idea of some of the potential costs. This was a sizable project because there was a lot more to it than not every house is going to need that. Some houses are more straightforward. Some houses are pretty involved. But you can see where the costs broke down. And even if you were to add that up, you can do the math, and you can see in a second why even all that improvements were major savings. Before anything was done, they were going through about 2,200 gallons of oil per year. That's crazy. At $3 a gallon, that's $6,600 a year just to heat your house. It wasn't even a good heat, but it was just to heat, which equated to almost 50,000 pounds of CO2 per year. Afterwards, we get rid of the oil. Oil's gone. There's no products of combustion in the house at all. So we eliminated all the issues that could have come with carbon monoxide. And the operating costs are about, the projected operating costs are about almost 12,000 kilowatt hours of electricity at 12 cents a kilowatt hour. It's about $1,400. It's actually better than that. We do have some data on the monitoring system that was put in with the Geo system. And it actually shows that the cost of operation is actually significantly less than that. This was a projected simple calculation based off of the initial consumption. So it's actually a lot better than that. It'll actually end up being only about $800 a year. 0 pounds of CO2, which is cool. And over the course of a 25-year lifespan, which is common with geothermal, that's 1.23 million pounds of CO2 over the next 25 years, which is a lot of that's a lot of cars off the road. Lastly, with all these improvements that have been made, the house qualifies for a very high performing energy efficient home. Even though it's an 1880s farm home, we work with an outfit called Pearl, which does home energy certifications. And very few homes actually qualify for a high rated platinum level home, which is the top upper echelon. Only about 3% of all homes qualify for that rating. And a lot of new homes don't even qualify for that. And we were able to bring this older home into the 21st century and actually make a very high performing home. And as such, they are only one of a dozen Pearl Platinum rated homes in all of New York State. And just a little pat on our own on the back of Halco. Those dozen homes are all Halco projects. So, and they're all comprehensive home energy projects. So it just shows that when you put something together like this, not only is it just yes, the house is more efficient, the house is going to be less costly to operate, but we can prove it. And we can provide certification, independent third-party certification, to know that the investment that you made in your home is recognized, and that can be used, if and when you sell the home, just to be able to show, hey, the house is efficient. I've got this certification. It's a legal addendum. It has to be taken into consideration. We do have a video. Unfortunately, videos don't play very well over Zoom, but we did have a testimonial with Kathy, but unfortunately, it's not transferring very well. So we're going to skip that, and I want to say thank you to Frank and Kathy for contacting Halco and bringing us into their home and giving us an opportunity to make their little part of the world better, and hopefully project that into the grand scheme, and so we can make more folks' homes more efficient and comfortable. And I want to thank everybody on the Zoom call for taking the time out of their day and their lunch hour to sit and listen to me ramble on. And hopefully, if you have any questions, very happy to answer. And hopefully we can make a difference for you. And I thank you.
Thank you so much, Matt. What a great presentation. I don't know about everybody else, but I definitely found myself jealous of this homeowner. Some of those improvements still need to happen in my house. In fact,
Does it remind you of anything, Lisa?
Matt was kind of giving me the side eye when he was talking about certain issues in the basement, because he's been in the basement of my house, which we won't talk about anymore right now. But this reminds me of what's on my to-do list. Okay, so let's see. A quick speed through Matt's presentation. I've never seen
the speed round.
The GeoStar unit on its side like that. I didn't know it could do that. So that was exciting. So Halco is one of our 4 wonderful vetted installer partners. We have Halco and Snug Planet, who also worked on this same house, as Matt mentioned a couple times, who are whole home contractors who do insulation, heating, and solar panels, all kinds of different things. And they work closely together. And then we also have 2 wonderful installer partners who are heat pump specialists. Daily Geothermal, they do electric and plumbing as well, but they're heat pump specialists, and NP Environmental, who are exclusive heat pump installers. So all of our partners are just wonderful, and I hope you got to see some of the other case studies as well as this one. We have NP Environmental presenting a hydronic geosystem on Thursday's webinar, and Daily and Snug Planet's webinars are now available for viewing on our website. If you missed those last week, please check them out. Really interesting to see these different projects that they've done. So we work on something called enrollments, and we urge you to get started if you're thinking about doing something in your home and one or more of the contractors that are our partners are interesting to you. The first step is to enroll on our website, HeatSmartTompkins.org, fill out a short survey, and select one or more of our installer partners. They will follow up with you at a time that's convenient for you. They will communicate with you about doing an assessment of your home's needs and what they would offer you. These home assessments are absolutely free and no obligation to you whatsoever, so there's really no downside. And then by going through the HeatSmart program, Jonathan and I become a resource for you. You can call us anytime with questions or concerns as you go through the process from enrollment through installation, which Some people are ready right now, enroll, and then they get a proposal and they book the job, and a month or two from now may have a new system. And some people are thinking about it now, but maybe a year or two or several years away from getting that work done. Regardless of which you are, we encourage you to enroll with us. So that's our webinar. Thank you so much for listening.